make welcome to the CEO and the Commission Secretary of the National Gender and Equality Commission, Dr. Purity Ngina.
My name is Dr. Purity Ngina. I'm the CEO of the National Gender and Equality Commission. And I also mentioned that this is a commission that was created in the new constitution under Article 59, 4 and 5. And of course then there was an act of parliament of 2011 that gives power and operationalized the commission. So we have been in existence for 13 years. Our mandate in the constitution and in the act is to promote equality and freedom from all forms of discrimination. And specifically for 6 special interest groups, those are children, young people or the youth, women, persons with disability, minority and marginalized, and older members of the society. Forgive me, the men between the age of 35 and 60 who are not persons with disability or who don't come from minority and marginalized community. But even when our constitution does, our act does not tell us to represent that constituents, we still fight for equality and freedom for everybody. That whatever you do, wherever you are, no one discriminates you. And so to give me, I feel so honored and privileged when I was invited. We kept back and forth, but I really wanted to be here. And I remember sharing the invite with my chairperson, Honorable Rehema Jaldesa, of the commission, and she said, "This is a very nice event, you must attend." And so even when she's not here, receive salams from our commission, constitutional commissions, sub-commissions of people who are appointed directly by the president, and our chairperson is Honorable Rehema Jaldesa. She is the former woman rep of Isiolo, and we have other 4 commissioners. And we had some activities that were happening in Marsabit, and so they had to go, and others are representing the country in the conference that is happening for indigenous people in New York. And the CEO is here. So I feel like the commission is also part of this gathering. First, congratulations for the fact that you've gone, having this as in your inaugural conference. I feel like I'm made of equals because I'm a person who loves research, who loves data, and who loves to write. Only 2024 partly that I have not published something. I have authored book chapters. I think one of my best book is on CBC. If you check a book on competence-based education, I've authored a chapter on respect and self-awareness, because one of the things that I have a personal conviction about is about our values. That if our values are right, then you'll not feel ashamed to give a lady an opportunity to thrive, or a young person an opportunity to thrive. If you respect them for who they are as human beings, you'll see beyond that and see their competence. If also Ngina is self-aware, she'll not shy away from applying for any position, because she understands her competences, she understands who she is, and she understands that she belongs to where she is, And so those 2 values are very special to me. Of course, if you look at the new competence-based education, and of course we focus on the curriculum itself, you realize we have 7 core competencies and 8 values. And one of the competencies is what Dr. Perez was talking about, critical thinking, that if you want to achieve, then you must be a critical thinker. And I thought then I could start from where he ended in terms of our mindset. And because I was lucky to be in the conversation we had earlier, where someone asked about the space of young people and where young people feel like they're not being respected or they're not being given opportunity. I also feel like we also need to work hard to advocate for change of behavior and the change of how we think. Because sometimes it's how people have seen things happen. So they have not seen young people leading. And so they think that young people don't have the skills or the competence to lead. And then, hence, whatever he asked, that young people are not getting opportunities. But I'm an example of a young person who has an opportunity to hold this microphone. And I feel like there are 2 things that has really helped me to hold this microphone. First is my personal belief that yes, I can become. And believe me, when I was applying for this CEO position, this is not an appointment. You apply, you go through a rigorous process, you are interviewed, you pass the interview and you're not the only one. First, you have to apply. That's the first step. Most of the time when there are opportunities, hata mtu atakupigia simu anakuambia hii ni Kenya. And I'm like, what do you mean by hii ni Kenya? If you are qualified for a position, never say that hii ni Kenya. You put your application. Make it very nice. The personal initiative, believing that you can. I know for many, if you read many studies, they will tell you that women take so long before you apply for any position. You have to tick all the boxes, and men are more outgoing, aggressive. They will just apply. And I think, I don't know for the young people, because the study does not tell us about the age group. I feel like young people also, we need to put ourselves out there. We should not be shy from being told no. Because no is still an answer. It will have helped you, you have learned, and you have grown in terms of your preparation for interview. So that is one thing. The other thing that I'm very convicted about is the power of education. For me, when I think about education, I first don't even look at the edge of saying, I'll get a good job. I first feel I've been empowered. Like all these things we have been given. I mean, it's power, isn't it? It is a training. First, we are not paid for, thank you. But it's so much power that I feel like when I'm living here, I'll start documenting my leadership journey. Because I don't think I've ever documented my leadership journey. Someone asked me, she asked me, and how is your day like? And I had to think about it. But if I've documented many days, I would have known what is a pattern. Yes, things will change, but what is a pattern? So some of these things, so education really is very critical. And as young people, we must keep speaking about the language of education. I think we are at a point where people will always say things about our education. Only when you go to other countries and everybody is looking back to Kenya to understand the curriculum, they'll say the Kenya curriculum is the best. Actually, if you read, because I'm seated with researchers and scholars, you realize that our education system is the best. Because if you feel yourself you have not received the best education, then you might not be able to take pride in your certificate or in your competence. So it's also a first thing to start appreciating that this country really, and for me, I'm trained in the 844. So you can imagine the many milestones we had with the CBC. If you study it, because I've spent 4 years studying CBC, you realize it's a very progressive curriculum. So I think we need to start speaking about the power of our education so that even the employers start trusting us. Perception is very critical. But the other thing that is also very important for young people is the ability to take risks. I think personally I've taken many risks. I was a full-time lecturer at Strathmore University between 2016 and 2020, where I did my my PhD in mathematics. And in 2020, I decided to resign to do something else. And it was a risk because I started freelancing as a researcher. So for me, I look at taking risk and knowing that something good will still happen. So even if my job then, I took the risk to move from somewhere I was full-time, I was permanent, I was pensionable, to something else. I think young people also, there's need for us to start taking risks. Taking risks in, trying different things. Being more, I don't like using the word innovative, because you realize most of the things we're doing, something you have learned from someone else. But there's always that thing you can borrow and contextualize it, whether it's done in Europe, wherever, you can contextualize it. But it requires a lot of hard work, a lot of reading. I am a person who thrives in reading for something new, and searching for more knowledge. And I think the young people, that is a risky space, because when you search more, you realize every day you want to try something else. So for me is to encourage all of us that there's so much we can do, and also to appreciate the teachers and the lecturers who are in the universities, because it is because of you we are where we are. Otherwise, if I did pass through the hands of good teachers who encourage me and who keep even now, reminding me of the things that I need to do right, I wouldn't be here and where I am. But I think the last thing, because I know someone said there's no much time, is that we also need to be very contented with who we are. I think sometimes when you look at the social media, we tend to be taken away. You're so taken away. If I post a photo, I'll post the best photo of my life, isn't it? But that is not really, when you come to my place where I live, you'll see a totally different thing. I am, so when I look at what I see in the social, and when I look even what myself, we have taken a nice photo with the dog here. That photo really is taken by the best, so it is my best day, right? But is that how I am every day? No, it's not how I am every day. True. I think for me, remaining true to myself helps me a lot, and I never feel less. I never feel less, and I never take anything that I don't need to. I feel like that also helps somebody in remaining grounded in terms of your integrity, because most of the time when you realize the people who take things from someone else, because they're not contented with themselves. So you see him with a very nice suit, you wish you have it. I mean, whatever you have is good enough. Doesn't change who you are. I want to add there, I'm really honored. I told you my story that I was this young girl who in 2002 got 235 marks. For those who are not Kenyans, 235 marks is below average, it's not half. And 16 years later in 2018, I was able to graduate as the youngest person with a PhD in biomathematics from Strathmore University. And in 2024, I became the youngest CEO of all constitutional commissions in Kenya, and the president honored me with the Moran of the Order of the Burning Spear. And I feel like that story reminds me, and sometimes you might see the end as a CEO, but if you don't know where I've come from, you might not really understand why this is important. But I feel like the story tells us that everybody can become whatever. You just need to keep nurturing your potential and don't feel less. Wherever you come from, whatever you're doing something that is going to change you or is going to change the community around you. And for me, I think changing the community is more important, because if the community changes, the whole country is going to be better, and we are going to live in a very good country. Thank you so much.